Okay guys, good morning to everyone. Here I am going to discuss the science and technology news of the week. One important news of the week is that Einstein killed Schrodinger's cat. Relativity ruins quantum world. Relativity ruins quantum world. That means what? To make understand this topic, that relativity ruins quantum world, we have to first find out some basic concept. Okay, one of the basic concept is that what is superposition. Superposition means that in quantum physics, quantum particles are intricately related with environment. Okay, it is very difficult to separate one quantum particle from its environment. Okay, it is very difficult to separate a quantum particle from its environment. That means what? Only a accurate measurement process can be used to measure the quantum particles, means how they interact with environment. In general situation, what happen? We can only feel the consequences, then how quantum particles generally interact with its surrounding environment, but we never can observe the reactionary process, how these particles, proton, actually interact with environment. They are so much related with their environment that it is very difficult to measure their interaction process, to observe their interaction process. Instead, we can only feel that what is the consequences of this interaction process of quantum particle with environment. Okay, this process, the integrated relationship between quantum particle and environment, is called superposition. Okay, and what is quantum decoherence? Quantum decoherence means the exact measurement or exact process throughout which these quantum particles are separated from each integrated environment. But in reality, it is a very difficult process because quantum particles are very highly immune to each environment. Okay, there is a quantum decoherence, means the separation of quantum particles from its environment is very difficult. Okay, we need not, as a general studies student, we need not to go further. Just we have to learn what is quantum decoherence and what is superposition. Superposition means the state of the quantum particles in its integrated relationship with its environment. And okay, we don't see how they are interacting with their environment. We can only observe and we can only feel the effects of their interaction with their environment. And quantum decoherence means what? Quantum decoherence means a measurement or a process throughout which these quantum particles are separated from its integrated environment. And then we have seen that what is superposition. Superposition means the interaction of quantum particles with one another. Okay, which we generally don't see, but we can only observe the consequences. And one of the experiment or one of the practical use of the effect of quantum superposition is the noise cancelling headphone. Okay, in actually superposition, what happen in one quantum particles, when quantum particles moves in the form of two waves, when two waves meet one another, either they overlap or either they cancel one another. Okay, in case of when the quantum particles moves in the form of waves, and when two waves meet one another, either they cancel one another or either they overlap. And using this experiments, generally noise cancelling headphones are actually produced. In noise cancelling headphone, what happen? The waves, okay, the actually headphone hears the surrounding sound. Okay, and to cancel those surrounding sounds, they actually emanate the same kind of sound. It is an experiment of quantum superposition. Okay, then we have seen that in reality, quantum particles generally are intricately related with their surroundings. Okay, it is very difficult to measure them. Okay, it is very difficult to measure the quantum particles, how they interact with their environment. Okay, it is called quantum superposition, or it is called the quantum physics. Okay, and a part of the problems of observing and measuring the superposition is known decoherence. Okay, how they observed how the quantum particles interact with their environment. Okay, Any attempt to measure the knowledge of quantum superposition by the outside world causes them to decoherence, and it is destroying the superposition. Transition, it is called transition from quantum to classical physics. That means what? The mind is one another. What is the concept? The concept is that in quantum physics, the quantum particles are very closely related with their outside environment. Okay, and any attempt to measure these quantum particles, okay, any attempt to observe how they react with their surrounding world, okay, to observe these things, if we want to know how they interact, how quantum particles interact with surrounding environment, we have to destroy their superposition. Superposition means that we are unable to know their interaction. Okay, if we want to know their interaction process of the quantum particles with environment, we have to break this interaction process. Okay, we have to break the close relationship between quantum particle and environment. It means we have to break the superposition, and breaking this superposition is called quantum decoherence, and it is called classical physics. Transition from quantum physics to classical physics means transition from superposition to quantum decoherence. Okay, now what the article says actually. The article says that relativity ruins quantum. Okay, relativity ruins quantum. According to relativity theory, what happens? But in general cases, what happens? In larger objects, means in larger objects, this quantum decoherence means separation of the quantum particles from environment is very fast. Okay, in case of larger object in art, the quantum decoherence means the separation of quantum particles from its environment are. The rate of separation from quantum particles from its surrounding environment is very fast. Okay, and that is why it is very difficult to observe minutely the quantum experiment. Okay, now here Einstein theory comes to rescue us. Einstein theory says that gravity is much less in moon than the earth. Okay, and what is the impact of gravity on quantum decoherence? The quantum decoherence, the impact is that the faster gravity on Earth actually impacts on larger objects, and the experiment shows that faster gravity actually hastens the faster decoherence. Okay, due to the gravity on Earth, while we do any quantum experiment on Earth on larger objects, the impact of gravity is much, and that is why what happened, the quantum, okay, that is quantum decoherence is very much faster. Okay, if the same experiment is done on moon, okay, if the same experiment is done on any other moon, okay, then what happen, the gravity will be very less. Okay, and the less gravity will what happen, less gravity will make less rate of quantum decoherence in larger objects. Okay, and this will give a chance to the scientists to observe the quantum decoherence, or to observe quantum experiment minutely with much time. Okay, and that is why it says that the quantum theory, Einstein's relativity ruins quantum. Okay, relativity ruins quantum. It generally what happens, quantum theory, what does quantum theory say? Quantum theory says that the quantum decoherence is a very much difficult process, because separating the quantum objects from its environment is very much difficult. But in case of larger object on Earth, what happens? The relativity actually helps in understanding, in breaking the quantum theory. Means the larger much gravity on Earth helps the larger objects in disassociating itself with surrounding environments very faster way. Okay. Now what happened, there might be some different questions that can be interpreted with the help of my lecture. Write down the questions. Write a short note: quantum decoherence, quantum superposition, atomic clock, Schrodinger cat. Relativity can ruin the quantum theory. Explain why quantum experiments might be more useful on Moon than Earth. Explain. Determine the relationship between time factor and gravity. Another question. Our head ages slightly faster than feet. Explain with the help of relativity theory. Another important news of the week is that England have to recommended giving the go ahead to up the 4 exploratory wells near Blackwell. That means there is a farm called Quadrilla on farmland that will now explore natural gas from shale rock. Okay, shale gas. They will explore natural gas from shale gas, SHALE. Okay, they will explore shale gas from shale rock. And now the government, UK government, has permitted them to explore shale gas from shale rock. Now, what is the controversy regarding it? The controversy is that this farm will use hydraulic farming to explore natural gas from shale rock, or they will use hydraulic farming, hydraulic fracturing to explore shale gas. Okay. Before we proceed, just differentiate that there are unconventional sources of energy. They are like tight sand, TIGST, tight sand, shale gas, and coal bed methane. Tight sand means here natural gas is generally deposited in silt form in sandstone. Okay, tight sand means natural gas is deposited in silt form in sandstone. Sandstone, SANDSTONE. Okay, sandstone. But the thing is that permeability of this rock is very less. Okay, means very less permeability of tight sand makes the exploration very costly. Okay, exploration process very arduous. Okay, the same thing is for shale gas. Here natural gas is deposited within sedimentary rock within shale, SHALE. Natural gas is deposited in sedimentary rock within shale. Another is coal bed methane. Here methane is absorbed by coal, and here methane is absorbed by coal, and here also exploration process is very costly. Okay, what is tight sand? Here actually natural gas is actually deposited within sandstone in silt form, very low permeability. Okay, and another is shale gas. Here natural gas is actually deposited within sedimentary rock within shale. Okay, and both of these because of these regions, okay, tight sand is deposited within very low permeability sandstone. Okay, and shale gas is deposited within very sedimentary rock whose permeability is less. Okay, mind the difference. Okay, tight sand and shale gas, coal bed methane, only one similarity. The similarity is that the exploration process is very much difficult because of their low permeability of the surrounding area where deposited. In case of shale gas, the low permeability of shale. Okay, in case of tight sand, low permeability of sandstone. In tight sand actually permeability is much more less than coal bed methane and shale gas, and all these characteristics actually makes the exploration of natural gas from these unconventional sources very much costly and arduous. Okay, there is one similarity, that is the arduous exploration process because of their low permeability, and the differences that in case of tight sand, I have already mentioned the differences. Okay, mind the differences. What are the differentiation between tight sand, shale gas, and coal bed methane? Now come to the topic. Then what is the controversy? The controversy is the hydraulic fracturing. Okay, then why this controversy? Because I already told you exploration process is very arduous and very costly. Then hydraulic fracturing means they will put some well. Okay, they will put some well. Okay, you yourself will search in net what is hydraulic fracturing. Okay, now they will put some well into the places where there is a possibility of shale gas and tight sand, and now different using different explosive material. Okay, they will explore, they will what happen? they will explode the well, okay, using different toxic material and using different chemical. The bore which will be the well which will be dug in the places, this well will be exploded by using this well will be exploded using some chemical. Okay, it is called hydraulic fracturing, and as a result of this explosion in the well, what happened? The a natural gas, okay, from tight chain, okay, the gas from shale or the gas from coal bed methane, all will come out through this fracture, okay, through this fracture. And what is the environmental impact of this hydraulic fracturing? You see, in hydraulic fracturing, very large amount of in hydraulic fracturing, actually large amount of means million of gallons of water will be used for hydraulic fracturing. Okay, it will what happen? It will make the water scarcity increase. It will increase water scarcity because million of waters are used for hydraulic fracturing. And apart from these, different kind of chemical and toxic material are used for hydraulic fracturing, which are very harmful for body, for environment, for soil, and for water. Okay, all for water, and there are some chemicals which are very dangerous prone, okay, which can cause cancer also. Okay, means the hydraulic fracturing has great environmental impact regarding water, regarding soil, regarding environment, and regarding human body. Okay, now you might find question, what is hydraulic fracturing? What are the importance? What are the environmental impacts of hydraulic fracturing? Okay, what do you find? What do you mean by coal bed methane? What do you mean by shale gas, tight chain? Or differentiate between tight chain, shale gas, and coal bed methane? Okay. In this way, you can find different kind of questions. Be prepared, especially try to know the difference in what is tight chain, what is shale gas, and what is coal bed. These are important from prelims point of view also, and from mains point of view, hydraulic fracturing, its environmental impact. Okay, such kind of questions are important. Another important news of the week is that scientists has discovered a single-celled organism called erythroposidinium. It is a single-cell bug or single-cell organism which belongs to planktonic criteria known as dinoflagellata, and it is called erythroposidinium, single-celled bug. Scientists discovered a single-cell bug called erythroposidinium. It belongs to the planktonic organism known as dinoflagellata. But what is the most vital characteristics of this single-cell organism? The most vital characteristics is then it has an extraordinary eye. And what is the characteristics, peculiarity of this extraordinary eye? The quality of the eye is that it can detect polarized light. And it can detect, this eye of the single cell organism can detect the polarized light, and using polarized light it tries to prey. Okay, now the question is that what is polarized light and what is unpolarized light? Generally, light moves in electromagnetic waves, and here waves actually spread in different direction. Okay, light waves spread in different directions. It is called unpolarized light. Okay, then channelizing the different expansion of light waves into one sources is called polarized light. Polarized light means spreading of light electromagnetic waves in only one direction to one sources. It is called polarized light. Okay, now you find question in short, write a short note. Polarized light. What are the uses of polarized light?